Yo, what is happening? What is going on? How you doing today on this nice, I don't know, it feels kind of chilly in here, but it says it's 70 some degrees outside here in Indiana. But today, escape from New York for the matinee. What a great matinee show, man. This is one of those shows that could go matinee, it could go Monday night, it could go Tuesday night. I could get 10 different guests. It doesn't matter, man. It's cool. Just a very, very, very cool show. But welcome to the Sunday Afternoon Matinee. I am your host, Goraphobe. Welcome one, welcome all. Here, check this out. Man, there we go. There we are. Escape from New York, 1981. It's actually something that was written in. He actually wrote it in 74 through 76, um, but was never able to get the financing for it. The studios wouldn't go for it. It was too violent. It was too, they just weren't going for that kind of thing at the time. Um, Finally, after the hit of the Halloween was, they finally gave the green light on it. And after the fog, they threw it together. Lots of facts on this one to get to. Lots of them, lots of them. Oh man, great cast: Kurt Russell, Lee Van Cleef, all Carpenter's regulars. Charles Cyphers. You got let's see, you got Barbeau from, of course, from One Last Night from the Fog. She plays a great role here. Isaac Hayes, which you may know from doing the cook in South Park. Um, Tom Atkins, of course, from Halloween 3 and Fog, and Night of the Creeps. Um, Nancy Stevens played Nurse Marion in Halloween 2, and then again in Halloween Ends. You got Frank Doubleday that was in Attack on Precinct 13. He plays one who shoots a little girl. Ernest Borgnine, the classic, legend. Ernest Borgnine does a great job as Cabby. And of course, Donald Pleasance. You never say enough about Donald Pleasance. And John Carpenter owes so much of his filmography and his career to Donald Pleasance playing the obnoxious president. And I do have an explanation of why he's able to get away with an English accent, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Yep. Isaac Hayes is one of those first guys that come along and make sweet love to you. Yeah, he's that dude. Yeah, baby. Yeah, just melting women with just his singing voice. You know what I mean? Very cool. What's going on, Fred? How you doing, man? Uh, yes. Lee Van Cleef, of course, from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Him being the ugly. You got, man, Harry Dean Stanton, of course, from Alien and so many other movies, man. He played Brett in Alien. But yeah, even even a nice little cameo from Season Hubley from Vice Squad, and at that time was Kurt Russell's wife. And Ox Baker, the actual professional wrestler Ox Baker, which I guess Kurt Russell had to be like, "Hey man, take it easy because you're being a little too rough. I'm not a professional wrestler." And finally, I guess he kind of had to hit him in the nuts, and he didn't really hit him; he just kind of tapped him in the nuts just to kind of get through to him to, hey, you know what I mean, lighten up a little bit. And I guess finally he did. Once the tap the balls happened, I guess he was like, "All right." So I got a page full of facts to talk about here. 2 pages full of facts to discuss on this movie. So should be fun. You see here, where we got most on. I'm gonna get into it. Give them a little bit of a pause here. Now, gotta get through the same thing as before, the studio canal intro. Hey, what's going on, Kelly? What you doing, man? So I know you're Escape from New York fan. I mean, I don't know it for a fact, but I could just tell. You know what I mean? It just Escape from New York seems like something. I don't remember exactly what you said about last night, but I could just tell that you're definitely Escape from New York kind of guy. Just with your love of, you know what I mean, Superman, you know, Kal-El, and just that whole aspect. Escape from New York would be right up your alley. This just what, yeah, that's the only problem. I'm thinking about pushing it back a little bit, just to give everybody a chance to wake up and everything. You know what I mean? That way, I'm not shoving it right up everybody's ass first thing as soon as they wake up. But I mean, I did have them on at noon, but I figured I'll push it to one. And I figure, and I know there's going to be a bit of a drop at the end of football season and all that kind of stuff. But not every game at 1 p.m. is a good one. So, luckily today my team doesn't play until 7 p.m. tonight. So, oh man, this is one of Carpenter's many, many great scores. That is one thing. Even if you're not big on John Carpenter movies, which I don't know, the circle I run in, we're John Carpenter fans. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that even if you don't like John Carpenter, you got to at least respect and like you know, like his scores. You really do. Russell guy, oh definitely. One of my favorite things Kurt Russell ever did, man, was Tango and Cash. He's I don't want to get killed by some foreign jack off. I'm gonna get killed by an American jack off or whatever. They keep calling that one. What's that dude's name? He's from the horror show. He's got the ponytail. I can't remember his name. Fred probably remembers. He might be, man. You never know. He might be. Yeah, 1981. He had a string of them, man. You had Halloween in '78. Of course, in '79 he came up with the TV movie Elvis. And '80 it was the Fog. And '81 it was Escape from New York. '82 it was The Thing. You know what I mean? So he just at this particular time he could do no wrong. And some of these didn't hit right away. Now this one they only spent 7 million on it, and its opening weekend it it um it made 9 million. So you know, yep. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, she is the computer voice. Yes. Um, she does and she also does the prison voice. It's talking about no smoking, no, you know what I mean, no talking, no smoking. And then if you want to get shot before shot, all you gotta do is let somebody know. Right. That's also her talking in that. The eye patch thing was a last minute thing. Kurt Russell just came in with it. He was wearing an eye patch, and they um they just decided to go with it. He liked it. As you know, it hit really good, man. Of course, as most people know, this was filmed in St. Louis, in a part of East St. Louis, where in 1976 a really bad fire had happened and burned up several blocks. So it was still down, but we went in there and asked them, and they let them film in there. They created in the film design, set design, everything. Carter did a bunch of stuff like old refrigerators and old burned out cars and stuff to bring into the set. Lots of things to talk about. Speaking of those computer screens, um, the wire framed thing, when he's in the plane, those are too expensive to come up with. So the special effects designers built a model of the city, and they painted it black and attached white fluorescent tape around it. And in order to give it the grid, and then they moved the camera along it just so it would look like the computer screen. So that was pretty cool. Very, very cool. Kurt Russell actually kept his Snake Plissken clothes from this one to Escape from L.A. But and he said he still fit into them just fine. But then once they come down to it, they decide to press him in the leather and everything that he was in Escape from L.A. So, but he still fit into them really well. So let me see. James Cameron actually does some special effects in this as well. Before James Cameron was ever known, the helicopter shot where they're going over Central Park, where he's flying over Central Park in the helicopter, or in the in his little plane there. I guess they were matte paintings done by James Cameron. So, you know, James Cameron actually sticks his face in here. The manhole covers, the underground people are pushing up, they're actually made of wood. I mean, lots of things. I got, like I said, I got 2 pages of shit to talk about here. Oh man, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this rolling if you guys want. If anybody wants me to hang on just a minute, let me know. I got the really, I haven't seen that. I'm gonna put it back up here again just in case. Need time, let me know. Oh, let me know. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. I had a really good time with the vlog last night, too. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Stop me from moving too a little too fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As Jackie Gleason would say, and away we go. I actually got there's the original Screen Factory that they came out with. There's the Steel Book from Screen Factory, original Steel Book, and then here's the 4K. Don't have that Studio Canal yet, but I wouldn't mind getting hold. It's the same transfer though, you know what I mean? It's just it comes great theme. Yeah, Kurt Russell is actually married to Susan Hubley at this time. Um, as Carpenter was also married to Barbeau by this time. In the fall, they were still kind of just see each other, but I think they were married by now. Uh, Lots of different people they were going to have playing. Let me see. Look for a couple things here. Warren Oates was going to play Brain, actually. It ended up being Harry Dean Stanton from Alien, of course, but it was going to be Warren Oates, but he fell ill, and I guess he ended up dying later on that year. Snake Plissken was taken from a real life tough guy the drug Carpenter knew from his school. I guess his last name was Plissken, and he had this snake on his abdomen, tattooed on his abdomen, and his nickname was Snake. So he ripped that off straight from this dude that he knew. It makes me wonder if you ever had to pay the guy. You know what I mean? I guess Donald Pleasance was a prisoner of war, so he drew on his prisoner of war experience for when he's in the imprisoned president. This mall of the city that they built also was repainted and reused for Blade Runner in 1982. You definitely tell this Jim Lee Curtis too. I'm actually moving towards something like that, man. What big ass prison? That's the one prison for the whole country. bad. There is no release. No release from this prison. There's one part where he ended up, Kurt Russell ended up in his full um, Snake Plissken get up, ended up in a bad part, a little bit offset, a little bit of a bad part of town. And I guess, there's a lot of crime rate and shit. And I guess a lot of people seen him with his get up and his gun and all that kind of shit. And I guess they just kind of backed off because they were intimidated by his appearance. I thought that was pretty crazy. You know, anything about video game director Hideo Kojima that made Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, I guess, was directly influenced by this. Yes, oh, definitely, 1984, absolutely. Now this is kind of rough, man. They're coming across. Here's a couple guys trying to escape, right? But they tell them turn around and start back. Well, with the helicopter going around, how are they supposed to? You know what I mean? They start to try to turn around, and then they just blow them the fuck up anyway. Like thanks, appreciate it. Immediately. The 10 seconds. You know what I mean? It's like 2 seconds later, they're fucking shooting bombs at them. Boom. Hey, what's going on, June? How you doing, man? Whipping out the facts and all that bullshit. What you going? You do not one way or another. One way or another, you do not come out. For a $7 million budget, man, this movie looks unreal good. You know, this is the first. And this is the first and only time. Well, I don't know about the only, but the first time they ever allowed anyone to do any kind of shooting or any kind of movie production on Liberty Island. They show the Statue of Liberty there. That's actually on Liberty Island. That's not special effect. That's the first time they ever let anybody do that. That tells you the name the Carpenter was starting to get. Openings, yes. What Snake was arrested for? Yeah, they were trying to him and that friend of his was trying to rob the federal repository, and yeah, Snake could have gotten away, but he stayed behind for his friend. Now, that's one thing. Cody Leach was on here talking. I heard a little thing he did about this movie, and he was on here talking about it. And he was talking about how if he had one complaint about this movie, that it was the fact that Snake didn't show any kind of humanity or really show any kind of character development towards being a human, showing any human feeling. That's not true. If you see that opening scene, um, he got caught because he was trying to help that friend of his, number one. And number two, later on when Maggie and shit, gets fucking killed and shit, he shows a lot of feeling for that. I completely disagree with what he said on that. Good, man. Good. Yeah. Trust me. I know, man. I know I've been through some rough days here lately. The last week or so has been better, but for a couple of weeks there, I was in a dark place. So much I changed my whole name. So I definitely understand, man. Things will get better, man. They always do, man. That's one thing. In the past, I think about killing myself and everything. There's a few different times, even before I had my kids and everything. I thought about it, and I always thought, I'll always remember something I always say. I always say this. It's a little thing, whether you're a religious man or not, it doesn't matter. That's the little thing I always remember is, oh, I forgot it. Goddamn, sorry. Um, oh, and this too shall pass. Always remember that. Keep that in your head. And this too shall pass. And it does. And then a week or so later, 2 weeks later, a month later, you think and you're like, man, I wouldn't be enjoying this right now if I had, you know what I mean? If I had given up on it. You always think back and think, man, I wouldn't be experiencing this if I gave up that day, or whatever, or if I just said fuck it and just cut completely away from life, you know. But you always remember that. Keep that in your head. And this too shall pass. I don't remember the whole passage. That word I always remember. All right, Tom Atkins. This is when he started wearing the mustache. This is getting up around the Halloween free time. So he started wearing that mustache. I think he's worn a mustache ever since. Yeah, there's a few. There's a couple people in this. Really, Joe Ford, son. That's one fact that I didn't know. I love Frank Doubleday. When he goes, he's got the hair crazy. He named him Romero after George Romero, and then the little guy that gives Snake the shot, he named him Cronenberg. So I thought that was fun. Lots of good stuntmen in this too. Lots of good stuntmen. You got of course Dick Warlock, which worked for you know Carpenter a lot at that time. His Halloween 3, of course. He played Michael Myers in Halloween 2. Also, George P. Wilbur. Let's see, Mom Winberg, Ted White. You know what I mean? You got lots to do some rather decent shit here. Well, life is about as hard as you can get. Yes, exactly. Oh, that's another great source to go from with Rocky, man. Rocky's been a big influence in my life. Big, big influence in my life, man. Or even Rocky Five is not one of the best ones, but I like the flashback he has to Mickey when he's talking about. He said, you're down, down, you don't think you can keep going. Said, get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loved you. You know what I mean? That part always took me. This guy just he just he's not putting a whole lot behind that. Is yeah. Life is not about when you can take the good times. Life is all about when you can take that when you can take that punch, that last punch that should knock you out and still get back up. That's what it's about. If you can still get back up, man, you got it. No matter what the shot is. Even if Clubber Lang comes along and says, yeah, and fucking knocks your if you can't get back up after that, you ain't gonna take a harder punch than that. And it's like with life, sometimes it gives you a punch even worse than that Clubber Lang punch. You still get back up. Yeah, that is weird, Fred. That is weird. I thought about that after that happened. First thing I thought of, you know, because in this, the plane just kind of bounces off of it, you know what I mean? It explodes into pieces. Didn't work out that way in real life, did it? Now, does this plane hit the World Trade Centers? No, it doesn't hit the World Trade Center. It hits a different building. But still, that plane should have wiped through there. Well, the Trade Center shouldn't have went down like that. You could sit there and help. Um, yeah, yeah, very, very cool, man. Absolutely. Of course, you got the great cinematography of Dean Cundy in this. Production design. Tommy Wallace isn't doing production design this one. This first one done by Joe Now. But I do believe this is the last one that Deborah Hill produced for him. I think this is the last time. She doesn't co-write this one. The screenplay is actually the screenplay is actually written by Carpenter and Dick Castle. Actually, Western. Yep. Yeah. Actually, it was inspired by Clint Eastwood and John Wayne. It was the two. Just like how they keep saying, "I thought you were dead." If you remember correctly, what movie did that come from, you guys? that John Wayne started. But they kept saying to him, "I thought you were dead. I thought you were dead." That was taken straight from the John Wayne movie. You guys remember which one it was? Big, absolutely, Drew Love, Big Jake, 1971. Absolutely. I spent my childhood wondering what the fuck. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And then later on, of course, Big Jake, definitely. Yeah, it's he's just I mean, a lot of that kind of stuff was from Big Jake, and then character traits are great. The way he talks, everything. Man, well, just hang out and escape and to escape from New York with me for a little bit, man. Forget all that bullshit. Here he goes. This guy's great. Remember, he played the nut that killed the little girl in Assault on Precinct 13. Where he's the one that he gang initiation shoots the little girl. He looks crazier as shit in this, but he does a great job. That laugh is crazier as shit. And he named him Romero because he looks like a zombie. He come back and he dies. 19, 18, 7, 16, 15. Fucking nuts. And then, like I said, the doctor that gives him the shot, that little guy, he named him Cronenberg. But, which makes sense. You know what I mean? So I was like, there he is, Lee Van Cleef, Bob House, Rio Bravo, yeah. I love Assault on Precinct 30. I might do Assault on Precinct 13 next week. I'm not sure. I'm wanting to start. I'm wanting to start from the beginning and go straight through the Tarantino catalog. So I may. I'm not sure, man. Next week, though, first, or at least sometime here soon. I've got to do. I've been talking about doing it for 2 years now. I've got to do every Twitter post. Got to do. I love Clint Eastwood in general. I adore Clint Eastwood, but every Twitter lose. That's it's just so much fun. Yeah, he did. He did. But he's so iconic though for being the ugly. You know what I mean? It's Deep Liskin, American Lieutenant, Special Forces, Black Light. Two Purple Hearts, Leningrad and Siberia. Damn, two Purple Hearts. That's a motherfucking soldier. You couldn't come up with a cooler looking bomber jacket than one. I swear. That I've always wanted a bomber jacket. That perfect as a perfect bomber jacket. It's worn out just the right amount. I don't know. Hey Joseph, how you doing, man? Did you enjoy your time, man? Did you go yet? You went yesterday, didn't you? Did you get to meet Danielle? she as cool as you thought she was gonna be? They always see don't meet your heroes, don't meet your idols. But there's exceptions. There's exceptions. Like they say, The Rock is an exception. War or president. I like when he asked me. He was like blah 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 and went down. The president was on board. President. He just doesn't really give a shit about the president. Next movies, class is the hero task be raised. Right, yeah. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Escape from New York, Joseph. Timestamp, just a tad over 20 minutes. And if you don't have Escape from New York, here is the link to the movie. You've never seen Escape from New York? Wow, man. You gotta check it out. It's a good one, man. In daylight. Oh, it's real good. One of Carpenter's best, man. It's one of John Carpenter's very best. Kurt Russell, Lee Van Cleef, Ernest Borgnine, Harry Dean Stanton from Alien. You got Adrian Barbeau from The Fall. Isaac Hayes, man. If you don't know him, he's the one that did the voice for the cook in South Park. Um, Charles Cyphers from Halloween, John Atkins from Halloween 3, and Night of Creeds in the Fall. Got Donald Pleasance is in it. He plays the president. Oh yeah, but this is 1981 John Carpenter, so you can't go wrong with it. Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, I thought Bob. Yeah, it does. They don't even really care about getting the president. They just want to get that damn tape back. You know. Also, check it out, man. You'll like it, man. Dr. Sam Loomis, absolutely. So he plays the president in like Future. This is 1981. This takes place in 1997, which was, of course, 16 years into the future. Yeah, I guess they were getting ready to shoot the first scene here with the Snake, Snake Plissken character, and he come in with his eye patch. That was his little ad lib, and everybody loved it. You had to seen pictures or something like that. Kurt Russell wearing an eye patch, Joseph. That's Escape from New York. Between takes, he had to take that thing off. I guess it was some of the depth perception. If you actually lose your eye, you get used to it. But him having both, what I mean, eyes working fine. Fuck with him a little bit. He snatches him up, too. He means that shit too. He means that shit. Yeah, doing great, Justin. How you doing, man? Still jacked up from going? No more Harper Summit. No more Snake Plissken. Back. He expects no less from Pliskin. You know, he expects no less. But yeah, this is a budget of back then, which was 7 million, which still wasn't much, but the first weekend made nine, and these days would be adjusted into what, 60 million. Very cool, man. Very cool. They got PlayStation 5s in stock and everything. Does anybody know about? I'm looking to get one for my son for Christmas, hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, so these effects here were actually done by James Cameron. And the opening weekend of 9 million was at parentheses very was the best they ever did in opening weekend. And remember, I told you about how they persuaded them to let them shoot those scenes on Liberty Island there by the Statue of Liberty. I guess there have been bombings or something 3 months prior to that. Now Donald Pleasance is president. You know how you have to be American, right, to even be considered to be the president. Well, since he started his British accent that he couldn't quite swerve away from, he had an idea of how he could have the British accent and still be the president, right? Well, he had an idea that in the future there, since it's set, years into the future, um, that the U.S. had rejoined the British Empire, but they decided rather than add that on there, and he wouldn't fit the story all that well, and kind of drag it a little bit. They decided to. Well, I already told you guys are good enough. I told you about well, I'll get to it when it gets to it, and how video game director Hideo Kojima was influenced by this when he made Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. The studio they wanted a tough guy for Snake because at this time, the only thing that Kurt Russell was known for was his Disney movies. So it's like they wanted a tough guy. At this time, they wanted either Tommy Lee Jones or Chuck Norris or Nick Nolte or Charles Bronson. But they really pushed for Charles Bronson, I guess. And I guess he was like, you know, because I mean, you got to think about it. At this time, Charles Bronson was what 60 years old, and he just didn't think, what I mean. The role of president. Oh, the role of president was pitched as like love child. This president was like if Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher had a baby, it'd be this particular president. Okay? He's completely ignored him. Pliskin, Pliskin. Ooh, okay. Head started cool. Yes, yes, yes. That's also a reference to that. Well, who took from that was Cloverfield. When the Statue of Liberty head did that blah 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 falling right there. That part of Cloverfield was directly influenced by Escape from New York. I guess Dean Cundey used a special new lens to extract the maximum amount of light. Since all this takes place at night in the dark, he used a new one that was still kind of new at the time. So, yep, he sure was, man. He sure was. He was in all the first Halloween movies except for three, five of the first six. Hell yeah, so would I. No, definitely not. Wow, yes, yes. The homeless man. Oh, I love that part. I love that part. Yeah, that's yeah. He's the one singing in the back. Hail to the chief, lay da da da. Okay. Yeah. Imagine Tommy Lee Jones or Chuck Norris or something. No, Chuck maybe. Chuck, I can accept Chuck. Oh man, everything, man. Look up Donald Pleasant's filmography, man. He's done so much, so much. He did a lot of great work up. Yeah, the Cloverfield, what was Victor Liberty had pays homage to the original theatrical poster, the first theatrical poster, where it's got the head of Statue of Liberty and they're all running. So, yeah. I guess they're going to purchase the old Chain of Rocks Bridge in St. Louis for $1 from the government there, from state there in Missouri. And after they've done using it, he sold it back to him for the same price. He's like, hell yeah, $1. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. And they convinced St. Louis there to shut off 10 blocks of power at night so that they could shoot their scene. You see people just running around behind him. Yeah, people don't think about that, but Kurt Russell at this time was only known for his Disney. You know what I mean? Greatest athlete, all that kind of stuff. He was not known of yet at all. What makes him cool is yeah, he's a great action hero. In this, he's the great action hero. You know what I mean? He's the great anti-hero. But for this time, all the action heroes were real buffed out and real big. So he just kind of comes off as he's heavily trained and tough. He can whip probably any of their ass, but he just doesn't look like he could much. At the same time, he does have that you know that intimidating look about him. I love when he finds him. He's like, Mr. President. Yeah, I'm the president. I knew when I woke up I'd be the president. I knew when I woke up and I was wearing this that I'd be the president. He said, he's just singing in the background, all bobbing and shit. Been drinking that homemade moonshine. Yeah, probably just here on Peacock with my son because my 16-year-old wants to see it, so we'll definitely check it out. He's got a lot of the old Five Nights at Freddy's figures and stuff like that. There's all dudes in drag up here on the stage doing this that scene he was talking about, and Fred. Yeah, yeah, I think it'll be all right. Yeah, this is fate, but rejoice, of course. Everyone's coming to New York. Pick up the little kazoo. I don't know if they was writing column or colon there. You know what I mean? I was thinking he's this anti-hero. See, and there's character development throughout this too. You know, there he is, the great Ernest Borgnine. Man, I grew up watching him as a kid, man. All kinds of different stuff. You know what I mean? Poseidon Adventure. Oh my God, just on and on. Man. He walks right by a girl getting tossed around and shit. And you know what's about to happen to her. He's just able to walk right past it. He's just there to do a job because he's only got so much time. You know. Correct. Yeah. Yes. Yep. They sure do. Here it is. There he goes. Yeah, I'm president. I knew when I woke up wearing this, I'd be president. Hey, chief. Here he is. Yeah. This is Carmen Philippe. This dude's in a lot of shows, man. And so is Buck Flowers. Oh, holy shit. And Buck Flowers always plays that drunk guy. Hi, chief. Nice, man. Nice boots. Nice boots. Take it easy, chief. I'm, I'm, there he goes. He's just punching this fucking poor guy, man. Ugh, ugh. Little fire that he's got going inside the building there. Ugh, ugh. You're president. Sure, I'm the president. I knew when I got this thing, I'd be the president. He's like, oh man, where'd you get it? I woke up and there it was, like a miracle. And they just shit themselves and they see the pulmonary and the heart and everything go. They think he's dead, man. Hey, much love to you too, Eric, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I love it. Hail to the chief. Look at him, he's bobbing around. You can just see him back there. He's like, he's so fucked up off of that moonshine and shit. I'm just, oh man. There was one time I watched this several years ago. For some reason, you know, I've been looking a little and I'll be laughing my ass off. And for some reason, I had to keep rewinding that part where he goes, Hail to the chief. And then and that's not even the funniest part. Sometimes the funniest shit's the shit that you don't hear, right? But you can just a lot of times what you don't even see, but you do hear. But in this occasion, it's reversed. It's what you don't hear is what you see. Because when he's talking to Hal, the president's dead. Someone had him for breakfast. He's there telling that in the background, the same bum that just sang the hell to the chief is sitting there going, talking to himself and shit because he's all fucked up. Question. Uh, yeah, that's right. There is no kids in this at all. I didn't thought about that. Yeah, Ox Baker. Yeah, man. Well, Kurt had to tell Ox to take it careful because Ox was fucking tossing him around and hurting him pretty good, I guess. You know, and I guess Kurt was like, "Look, man, you got to ease up. I'm not a wrestler, dude." You know, and Ox was still just so he tapped him in the balls. You know what I mean? I guess Ox got the idea. The Ox was working. You know, Ox was a pretty big dude, man. Kurt's not. You know, and he's trained as a wrestler. You know, he's an actor. And Ox was laying it into him, I guess, man, like those big clubbing forearms and shit. Yeah, definitely check it out, man. 'Cause it's great. Now this tapping he's doing here, like I was saying before, these manhole covers are not metal. They're made of wood, so the actors could push them up and out of the way real easy. If you ever try to move a manhole cover, they're heavy motherfuckers, man. I mean, I can move them, of course, but it's not something I want to do on a regular motherfucking basis. Just saying, just saying. This is creepy. This would be scary, man. This would be scary. Kurt Russell's your favorite actor of all time, huh, Eric? I didn't know that. I did not. I did not know that. I don't think you ever told me that. Kurt Russell is great, man. You can do anything, anything. He goes from this tough ass Snake Plissken man, to a role like Unlawful Entry, where Ray Liotta is the bad guy. Hey, what's going on, Explorer? How you doing? But you know what I mean? And he's such a puss in Unlawful Entry. To me, Unlawful Entry definitely pays a big homage to Cape Fear. It's just not exactly, but it's definitely got that vibe to it. It's to the Night of the Living Dead. Crazy. Characters. Romero, yes. You referenced George Romero. Yep, that's just what I was saying earlier, Fred. Yes. Frank Doubleday from Song Precinct 13. Yeah. Not near in 20 seconds, he dies. You come back in, he dies. 19, 18, 17. Here she is. Susan Hubley. She was in Vice Squad, which is Louis Wings Hauser. If anyone hasn't seen Vice Squad, definitely check it out. It's got Susan Hubley and Wing Hauser in it. Wings Hauser plays, great, crazy role, man. Plays a character called Ramrod, and he is a fucking nut. And anyway, Susan Hubley here, who's Chicky's talking to in this abandoned diner, was his wife at the time. This was a couple of years before he ever got with Goldie Hawn. Oh man, yeah. Donald Pleasance, yeah. Donald Pleasance is great, man. Okay. Stranger Things, okay, yeah. I have never, Joseph, I have never watched Stranger Things. I've never watched it. People could tell me how good it is and everything. I've never seen it yet. One of these days, I'm going to start. Think about it. I'm just now watching anime in the third season of Breaking Bad. So you never seen this either before? Wow, and you got to see Skip New York, man. Wow, man. It blows me away when people say they haven't seen Skip New York. Especially, I know a lot of Carpenter fans that have never seen Skip New York. It's like, man, if you're a Carpenter fan, you've got to see Skip New York. Yeah, I'm just now doing Breaking Bad. I haven't even got into let's call Saul or any of that kind of stuff yet. So don't don't talk about don't tell me anything about it. Me and my son are watching it right now. I love this part right here. They're chasing him. He's getting the fuck out of there, man, because these motherfuckers will eat him. Now, I like what's her name in Stranger Things. I seen her in the Godzilla movie. Millie. Oh man, I seen her and I didn't even know she was in Stranger Things. And when I first seen her, and I seen the acting she was doing, and first thing I said about her was, man, she's got something that Millie does. She's got something, and I didn't even know she was in a regular show. Yeah, I just knew she had that certain something about her, man. She got that certain something. And this is before I even knew she was in a show, regular show. Yeah, she is good, and it's not just good, man. It takes more than just good. There's a lot of good actors out there, but it takes that certain intangibility. It takes that certain what I call the it factor, and she has that. She has that it factor. Got to have that it factor, just like with wrestlers. We talk about wrestling. Um, you can be a good wrestler all day long. You know, WWE and AEW and all that and are full of great wrestlers. You know, great wrestlers are a dime a dozen. It's that it factor. That's what separates Sammy Guevara from The Rock. Is that it factor? The thing you just don't know what it is, but they've got it. Yeah, well, she's well, yeah. I mean, she's pretty, you know. But that's not even what I was, not even what I was talking about. I was talking about just a certain something that draws you to them, makes you want to watch, makes you look forward to watching. Like Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell has that it factor. He has that certain something. Got to have that. And it's not something you can learn. You either have it or you don't. You're either born with it or you're not. Period. Sorry. No reason to be sorry, man. No, there's no reason to be sorry. What? Why are you sorry? Well, I'm glad you're going to see your favorite girl, man. I'm very happy for you. Man. I wish I could still go to those things, but I just can't, man. My social anxiety has just got too bad. So many people that I wish I could meet, and I'm just never gonna. Dude got him. Everybody knows the dude's got him. You don't got to put a gun to my head. I'll tell you, Duke, the Duke of New York, A number one, the big man. That's who. Meet this Duke. Meet him once and then you're dead. Yeah, yeah. That's when I first seen her. Was that first newer Godzilla movie? The first one that she was in, and I was like, that girl. I was telling at the time I was still with my wife, my son's mom, and I just I seen her on there and I was like, that girl's got something, you know what I mean? And then that's when they decided to tell me, well, she's in the show, it's been thing. And I was like, really? I had no idea. Wrestling, yeah, they really do because it's wrestling is full of a bunch of very talented athletes, not stars. That's the difference, you know. When back in the day, you had good athletes and everything, like say back in the golden era, the '80s, or Attitude Era, or New Generation. New Generation was loaded with talent wrestling, but they just didn't have that certain something that separates you from being a great athlete to being a star. And like I said, it's nothing you can learn. You either have it or you don't. She instantly does not want to hear from Gabby. Gabby's obviously one of these guys that, he's one of those dudes that constantly comes up to your house. He's always wanting something. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that hint someone little on gas. Or man, if I could only get this, if I only had my, they're hinting, you know what I mean? They want some shit from you. Here she is, Adrienne Barbeau. First seen her in Maud when she was young, you know, young. Yeah, it's that certain something, man. You just get your finger on what it is. But they just got, and that's what separates the star from the megastar. I love L.A. Night. I fucking love L.A. Night. Yeah, yeah. But everybody's saying L.A. Night. Yeah, I love L.A. Night. Unfortunately, he's like what 40. Yeah, yes, I am a football fan. My team plays tonight at 7 o'clock. Next to my brain. Used to know him as Harold. Yeah, Harold. No, don't call me. I know something that you and you don't. We got so long from Mr. President. Don't mean. Yeah, yeah. I think he is too. Just too bad it didn't happen what 5, 10 years ago. Here he is, man. Harry Dean Stanton, man. Lots of movies of this motherfucker in them, man. He's one of them. He was almost one of them guys. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, hey, it's that guy. You know what I mean? He's almost one of them. I always call him that those guys, kind of like Dick Miller, and then eventually some of those that guys they kind of meld over into becoming, hey, that's Harry Dean Stanton, or hey, that's Dick Miller. That's what he did. You, me, and Fresno Bob. Now, this is another way. See, it's another way where he shows his feelings here. He's very upset about what happened to his buddy Fresno Bob. I completely disagree with Cody Leach with what he said, man. Saying that Snake doesn't show his human side or nothing that really happens really seems to affect him, on a human side. It's not true. He's very upset. He wants to blow brain away right now for what happened to him and Fresno Bob. And it's more about what happened to Fresno Bob than what happened to him. He's like, you know what they did to Bob? You know what I mean? He shows a lot of that human side. I completely disagree with what Cody said on that. I think he needs to watch it a little closer. Like later on with Maggie, he shows a lot of emotion with that shit. With Ernest Borgnine later. I watch a whole lot of college sports, but I do watch NFL. Just started back up last year, so just this year. My son's watch it. Like, oh yeah, because I haven't watched it in years because his mom never liked football. So every time I turn on, it was how long does it get? It's like after a while you're just like, but I don't make that kind of mistake again. Right, everyone lying. I might as well have some fun. Keep looking by myself. I love that knife she's got. It fits right here in these two fingers, and it's like a dagger. Raiders, man, Raiders. Yep, I followed them all the way from Oakland to L.A., back to Oakland, and now to Vegas. Bo Jackson could have been the greatest running back of all time. He hadn't shattered his hip back in what 90, 91, something like that. That's how Brain gets away with being a little weasel. Is he's the only guy in the whole damn prison that's got the brains to do this shit. Yeah, me too, man. I can't remember who they're playing. What are they playing tonight? I don't remember who the Raiders are playing, but I hope they win too because they got their ass whipped last week. And they're better than that, man. Of course, they lost to a good team. But I think it was Buffalo that whipped their ass really bad, but still. I love it. Here comes the Duke, a number one. I love it, man. These chandeliers hanging off the car, man. That's some funky shit, man. He ain't fucking around. Hydraulics before anybody knew what hydraulics was. He's got these, but the chandeliers is what kills me. Like later on when he's chasing him and shit, and he's going over bumps, and you can see the chandeliers just flying everywhere. The dude's got his own theme song, for Christ's sake. He's he's got a little boyfriend sitting in the back seat. Romero's his little boyfriend. And you just talking about Romero. How Frank Doubleday, song Precinct 13, plays Romero, he's called Romero because he looks zombified, and so he named him Romero from Rose Romero. And just like the little lab coat wearing guy that gave Snake the shot, he's a little science nerd kind of guy. That's why Carpenter named him Cronenberg. Yeah, he's got his own interest theme. As he come around the corner, you hear the music. Oh, dude, yeah, I did Clockwork Orange about a month ago, man. I've done Clockwork Orange twice. I did one with John Steele about a year ago, and I did Clockwork Orange, man. Check out on the channel, man. Hell yeah, brother. Let me go back here. Fine. Yeah, man. I did that like a month and a half ago. It's a good one too, man. I'll say so. No, no, but really, man, it's a really good one, man. Go back and check it out. I love Clockwork Orange. Here, let me show you some shit. Something I got hold of. I got my hands on these. I'm going to show them all off because I'm still going to do a video on them. But these are genuine from from Germany. These are actual um, theatrical art cards. Genuine, man. The entire set. I got these for a great price. Whoever had them had them tacked to a wall or something, so they're not in perfect condition. But I also got some Funhouse ones, and I got some Halloween 1978 ones that are in perfect condition. Perfect. I'm going to show them off here soon too. With the entire set of 8. You can see in Germany, unworked orange. You can see a few tack holes in a few of them. And then here's the left. I won't show that one too long because it's got some nudity going on in the back there. We got Bush. We got Bush. But yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Believe I got all those for like $50. I think a couple of tack holes, $50 of those. Those are hard to get a hold of, man. Like I said, I got about, and see, I got five of the 8 from the Fun House. I'm looking to get the others, and I've got all 8 Halloween from 1978 Halloween, and they're in perfect condition. They cost a little more, but not bad. Not bad for perfect condition. So a few more I need to get. You get Dawn of the Dead, you get Night of the Living Dead, that was mine, you skip New York, Fall, you know what I mean? Still lots of that and vinyl. I'm collecting vinyl too. So I got lots of videos coming up. I'd love to get Zombie. Oh man, 1978. 1978 Halloween. I got all kinds of stuff coming up here for Halloween next month in October with JT. We're gonna do a lot of stuff because he's a Halloween 1970 horror just like I am. Yeah, I'm looking to change it back. I changed it and fucked with it a little bit. I was talking about this a little bit last night, but yeah, I it was just a mood I was going through. It was just a thing I was going through. I was having a little bit of a rough time and changed my shit to blackened because blackened is just how I was feeling. But I still got about 6 days before I can change it back because I messed with it so much that now then they made me wait 14 days before I can change it again. So here in about a week or a little like 6 days now, I'll change it back. I'll have it changed back. I just changed it to adjust how I felt. Listen, I heard you. But heard you were dead. Blackened, yeah, I thought I changed, but it's the problem. It is though, man, is it's confusing some of the older subscribers that have kept up lately or whatever. It's kind of confused them. They're going through and they're seeing blackened in there, they're not knowing who the hell it is until they actually get into it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to confuse shit, so I do want to change it back. I don't want people unsubscribing because they don't know who the hell I am. You know what I mean? Like, who's that? Well, I ain't subscribed to them. Click. Yeah, man. do them. I kind of made these things popular, man. In the last year and a half, they've shot up in popularity like crazy. And it didn't happen until I started doing them on a regular basis, man. So I don't know if I'm to blame for that, or if everybody's seen that. Hey, it's a good way to connect to people, which it is. It's a great way to connect and talk with people. You can talk about the film, you can do commentary, you can discuss the film. Um, like I say, you do film commentary, you can discuss the film, you can talk about facts, you can talk about the star, everything. Or you can turn it into a watch party. There's a difference. I don't care what anybody tells you. There's a difference between a watch along and a watch party. What I do is watch along. I discuss the film and people in the film and all that kind of stuff. Um, and then there's watch parties. Watch parties basically where you just get in there and you just hang out and talk about your thing. What I do is watch along. Watch along has got a little part where you can just hang out and bullshit, but then most of it's about the film. And most of the time that's what I do. There is a difference. Don't let me tell you there isn't. I love the screech. Ah, and that screech when he comes through and snatches him and blows him. Yeah, Donald Pleasance took off his I guess he was a prisoner of war. I'm guessing in either Korea or World War II, maybe. Um, I'm guessing it's probably Korea, maybe Vietnam, where he was a prisoner of war, and that's what he honed in on when he did this as president being in captivity, so to speak. Oh man, all you gotta do is just know about the film, man. What you don't know about it, look it up, write it down, take notes on it, just get in and just show your passion for the love of the film, man. But you got to do films that you enjoy once you have the passion for it. And that's it, man. That's it. And then just connect. That's all it takes. There he is. He's like, gives that little wink. Who are you? He just looks at him like, fuck you, dude. He grabs the arrow, shot in his leg. What a cheap shot. Ow. I said, who are you? As tough as Snake is, it still hurts like a son bitch. This big mouth. I'm going down. We need him. Little rat that he's always been. Mm, Snake whiskey. Timestamp. An hour and 2 minutes. You seen with the tire iron. I heard you. Wham! Heard you were dead. Which of course is what comes from, what we talked about earlier with the comes from Big Jake from 1971, John Wayne. Kurt Russell said he honed in on John Wayne, like Big Jake, stuff like that, and earlier stuff. And Clint Eastwood, the way he talks, you can tell big on Clint Eastwood. This down view here, this is what I'm talking about with the down view, with the fluorescent, you can see the lines and stuff. Yeah, he did it in black. Let's see. I wrote this down so little to do it. Yeah, this was done by that part right there where you see the black and it's outlined in white. That was done by James Cameron. Yeah, yeah. It says yeah, that was shot going over in a helicopter going over San Fernando, California, and were matte paintings. No, 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 no. Wait. Yeah, they built a model. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry. They built a model of the city and painted it black and attached white fluorescent tape around it. That's the white spots you see, and model around the model buildings in an orderly grid and moved the camera along the city, and that's how you get that effect. Well, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that a lot. That means a lot, especially after, what I've been through the last few weeks and everything. I went through a little bit of a spot there where I wasn't exactly this popular for a minute. You know, sometimes there's a good and a bad thing to speaking your mind, speaking how you feel, and you know what I mean. And there's good and a bad part to that. But I just am who I am, and that's the bottom line of it. Plus, I had a little bit of falling out with someone who was a friend of mine at the time, but I won't get into that. But there's a good side and a bad side to wearing who you are on your sleeve. You know what I mean? And that's what I do. And I'm overly emotional at times, and that's just how I am. That's just me. Well, that's past now. Moving forward. But that means a lot, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, Joseph. And I love your passion, man. I love your passion for film too, man. Just keep going on what you're doing, man. You just hit that 500. That's cool as hell. Yes, yes. Keep doing it, man. But I always try to do though. Like last night, I was gonna go when I did the vlog. I did the vlog last night, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I waited so long so I wouldn't step on. Um, Nanette was doing a double feature of Stephen King double feature. And I was going to go, like I said, I was going to go at midnight, but I decided to wait till 1:30 so that she could get hers done so that I wasn't stepping on her toes. I didn't want to step in there and step on her toes because, we got a lot of the same circle and I didn't want to have to make people choose. So I just waited until she was done and then I started. That's why my nights have always been Mondays and Tuesday nights, late Monday and Tuesday nights, because nobody else does it at those times. So that way I'm not stepping on anybody's toes and I'm not stepping on mine. Because when it comes to these the rewatch does nothing for me. You know what I mean? Because I like this. I like to talk and I like to connect with people. I can't do that on a rewatch. If someone rewatches it, I can't do that as well. I mean, I love people rewatching. That's great. Don't get me wrong. But this is where I get what I need from is talking with people and stuff. Look, this guy never seen a cassette tape before. This Romero. He shut the case and the tape fell out and he picked it up and he's like, and he even held it to his ear like it was gonna play some shit when he, you know what I mean, like it plays music all the time or something. Like you got to put in a machine, you dumbass. But yeah, keep doing them, man. Keep doing them. Oh yeah, but go a little more than watch a long line. Discuss the movie. Discuss facts about it. Look up the facts. Do your homework. Do your homework on it. You know what I mean? Go back, find out about the movie. Who's in it? Why they're in it? Where it was made, who made it, whose idea was it to make it, whose idea was it to make it, and have it filmed in this city, whose idea was it for Snake to have his patch on his eye, different stuff like that. Talk about that stuff while you're doing it, because most people don't do that stuff. I do, but most people don't. They just kind of sit and watch the movie and then just talk about, stars or whatever, you know. Do that stuff with it, because like I say, most people don't do that. I haven't seen it yet. Look at the stars. And you'll hear Robert England. That's a hell. That's a pretty damn good cast. Love Bill Moseley. Got an autograph picture up there of the double rejects of Bill Moseley on. Don't have Danielle's yet. I can get her autograph, but I don't have it yet. Of course, I won't be able to get it in person. I just can't do that anymore. But yeah, yeah, I'll do watch along or something on it if I check it out. And I like it and everything. Look at that gun, man. That's a 44 Magnum with a scope on it. Nice, nice gun she's carrying there. Chromed out. I love that chromed out. That's what I always loved about. I love Jerry Harry's gun. Don't get me wrong, but it would be even better if Harry had his chrome because Harry's gun was always black, right? It'd be even better if it's chromed out. I think Dirty Harry movies. The first time was The Enforcer with Tyne Daly, from Cagney and Lacey. He was in that with her. One where they go to Alcatraz and shit at the end. Um, that's the first time I ever seen Law's Rocket was in that. Because I was little in The Enforcer. I wasn't very old at all. That's the first time I ever heard of Law's Rocket. Remember they're getting ready to shoot it. And he's doing a demonstration of that Law's Rocket, and she's standing right behind it. And he snatches her right before he pulls trigger and pulls her out of the way, and it shoots behind. The Law's Rocket, of course, that shoots out the back too. It ejects the cartridge. That would have killed her. At least, she'd at least been, she'd have been lucky and survived it. She'd have wished she had. I I know how you love Danielle Wilson. You're definitely her biggest fan, man. You are her number one fan. I can imagine anybody being a bigger fan than you are. It's really cool, man. I talked to her once on a podcast. With me with God, I can't remember what channel I was doing it with. Maybe Cheetah and um, uh, Josh from God damn, I can't remember his name. Hobbs and all them. They did like an interview with her, and I talked to her briefly on. I also talked to Courtney Gaines from Children of the Corn, who played Malachi. It's too bad you weren't around at that time, man. Could have gotten involved in that talk and actually talked to her on that podcast. Here's the Ox Baker part. There he is, Ox Baker. This is an old time wrestler. 60s, 70s, mainly 70s wrestler. He died in the 80s, early 90s, somewhere around there sometime. I don't remember exactly. But I guess he beat the shit out of Kurt Russell in this scene. And Kurt was like, dude, ease up, man. And finally, he had to tap him on his balls. She's like, all right, motherfucker, look, your balls are, exposed. And if I have to, because shit, he's a lot bigger. And he's trained, man. Kurt wasn't trained wrestler. So he's fucking him up, man. Kurt found out really quickly that wrestling isn't just this big fake ass thing. That shit hurts. I did for 12 years, and yes, it hurts. 500 matches. A hell of a lot of the arthritis I have now, I have planned. Getting this look like the cat with the mouse. I got you. I got you, pretty boy. That's what he's thinking too. I got this pretty little actor in here. I'm gonna show him what's up. Because wrestlers are like that, man. They just, especially you got some pretty ass dude in there, thinking it's this big old fake thing. That's why Hogan beat the shit out of Stallone. Stallone just didn't know. And Stallone sort of giving it right back to him, I guess. In Rocky 3. Roll down. Our way to freedom. Have their best man leading the way. From the neck up. They're saying they're going to kill this motherfucker, take off his head and put it on the front of the car. On the hood of my car. Blah. Getting down the nitty gritty now. That's all they see. The shit's getting ready to hit the real fan. Almost an hour and 14 minutes in. Timestamp. Yep. She's a good little actress, man. All the way from when she was a little ass kid. Did you ever see her with Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis in The Last Boy Scout, Joseph? She's a bratty ass kid in that. And did you ever see her in Roseanne? There he is. He stole Cabby's hat, bullied him out of it. I was mad. He was so nervous about it. I had a seat at the He says to the no, he doesn't. Well, that time he said that. Wait a minute. Why? You'll tell me. Smart, 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 smart. As don't claim brain for no reason. He is a smart, manipulative, slithering little bastard, but smart. Now, this wig in the scene here with Donald Pleasance wearing that long blonde wig, that was Donald Pleasance's idea. He improvised that. All right, man. But hey, before you take off, Joseph, did you ever see The Last Boy Scout, where she's a little girl in it, and she plays Bruce Willis' daughter? If you haven't seen that, check it out. She's real good in it. And if you haven't seen the old show Roseanne, she's in it for several seasons, like maybe 4 or 5 or something like that. Check those out. Take it easy, man. Check out those shows you haven't seen it. Remember seen the Last Boy Scout? Okay. Oh hell yeah, she did. She always did good. And if you haven't seen her on Roseanne, she's a teenager in it. Check it out. But she's my age. Man, she's a couple years younger than me. Oh, you seen that too? Okay, cool, awesome, man. She's in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Unbelievable. Take it easy, Joseph. Have a good day, man. Oh yeah, I love her character in that. If I'd been her, I'd slap the shit out of Darlene. The way Darlene treated her, like calling her a slut and shit, I'd slap shit. She was just jealous because David had a crush on her. Darlene was. Darlene was just jealous of her because she knew she was a hell of a lot prettier than her, and she felt threatened. Bottom line. Yeah, so you can tell that he's swinging that motherfucker, man, throwing him around. Oh, fucked up there. You don't ever come at somebody with your shit way up here like this. You know what I mean? And leave your midsection wide open. You know, especially somebody that's a lot faster than you are. And they immediately turn snake, 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 snake. He won. He killed the other guy. He's now the new favorite. He's like, no, thank you. That's all right. I want out of here. I'm not trying to be your hero. I'm trying to survive because I don't really want my fucking neck exploding. Just because it tells him, but I'm telling that Brain's got the president, and they're looking to get the fuck out. And Brain didn't give a shit about his old buddy. He was looking to fuck him again. He was going to take off in his jet and leave him right there in the prison to die. Brain's just a slithering little sneak, little weasel. Weasel. Who do I still got out there right now? Still in there, Fred? Still in there, Junebug? Still in there, Eric? Who I still got? Get down here, the nitty of the movie. This is not the time to take off. Of course, he had never, Joseph had never seen it before, so he went watching anyway. So all you guys watching, man, talk to me. Let me talk to you. Oh, you still there? Oh no. Okay, that's the old one. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Joseph's a nice kid. He's a good kid, man. Loves himself some Danielle Harris, man. Loves Danielle. I think the biggest fan I've ever seen of Danielle. Definitely, definitely the biggest fan I've ever seen in Daniel Harris. Bet he's a big fan of Halloween, Carpenter's Halloween, for obvious reasons. Not Carpenter's Halloween, Zombies Halloween, for obvious reasons. My oldest son's a big fan of Daniel Harris too. My oldest son always had a crush on him. This dumbass led him directly there to this jet, so now they can't take off in it. And it's fucking tough. Oh man, brain really fucked up, man. What a dumbass. And you ever notice how quickly these fuckers got pulled this fucking motor out of this motherfucker? I mean, it takes a minute to remove those motor mounts and shit. You know what I mean? These fuckers got in there and removed that shit. I swear to God, Snake, I know you can trust me, Snake. Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. You lead the way, motherfucker. Come on. He's all sweating and shit. He's just been having. He's been having to use basically one leg to run through this whole thing right here. So all the way from the top of the World Trade Center, all the way down the steps to the bottom, man. That's what 110, 118 stories or some shit. You move that motor underneath the hood. Wait, nice crossbow. There's a distillery right there. It's a bad place to stand right there by that steam like that. And number one is kind of a dumb bug. He's not the smartest bad guy. It's sweated brain. American Bandstand theme. Dun 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 bandstand. Everybody talked to him at once. Music's fucking jamming. He's like, God damn, will somebody stop that? That was smart of him to trade Romero that hat for that tape. And he didn't know what he had. He, as far as he was concerned, he was just getting another tape that he could play. I'm surprised that tape player was still fucking working, man. That's an old cassette player. Those things weren't very durable. They didn't last very long. Those old cassette players didn't. But those little recorder things there, you slip it in there and you can record, talking and shit into it. Those seem to be better than the ones that were in actual stereo. This is the bridge we were talking about here that he rented. Let me see, what was it? Yeah, this is the Chain of Rocks Bridge in St. Louis. He bought it off the city for $1, but it was closed down and shit. And then when he returned it to him just like it was and got his dollar back. Righteous bucks. He shows a lot more humanity here too. I think. I think he shows great character development. He goes full circle because at the beginning of this, he wouldn't have gave a shit about any of these people getting killed. He wouldn't have gave two shits, man, about it. But by this time, by now, he's actually, he cares about Cabby and Maggie and shit. Not so much Brain. I mean, he holds a lot against Brain. Brain's kind of a sniveling piece of shit. Maggie, Maggie's loyal, very loyal to Brain, and that gives her, you know what I mean. That's that shows a lot of integrity. Loyalty does. And Cabby, he's just a good guy, so he likes him. Hit this fucking mine, bam! Now that was all Snake's fault. Snake was looking at the time he had left. Can't blame him, but that was his fault. He hit that mine. Of course, that car, they had all been dead hitting that mine. Unless they just barely clipped it, you know what I mean? But they'd been fucked up. There'd have been more than just one guy. The guy sitting right next to him was dead on impact. Yeah, Cabby's dead. See, he didn't like that. He does by his actions, but he can't wait and sit around and he can't sit around and mourn or anything. He's got to get moving. Got to get moving. Boom! The dog right, asshole. Boom! And Maggie, she really cared about Brain. She really liked him. And now he's telling he did see if this isn't character showing some character development, showing that he cares, I don't know what is. He's got very little bit of time left, and he's telling Maggie, "Come on, we're out of time. Let's keep moving. Brain's dead." You know that shows a lot of human side. But she loved Brain so much that she doesn't. He was like a reason for living. Like she didn't even give a shit anymore. She said, "Here, give me the gun. I'll stop him. I'll slow his ass down." Unfortunately, she lets her emotions get the best of her and doesn't think about it. She just blindly starts shooting at him. Does slow him down though. It does work because his ass could have just kept driving around here. He's getting lucky as fuck getting around all these mines. I'm getting notifications up here. It says something new about AEW. Boom! Bad. Probably cut her in half. It's only shows her from the waist up. Like Snake knew as soon as he gave her that fucking nice ass gun and took off, that he wasn't going to be seeing her again. He knew the Duke could kill her. Yeah, I'm gonna shed the black as soon as I'm able. Here I go, get everything all set up and waiting for him. Get him over this big ass wall. Seems like though if they was gonna put the wall right here and this bridge led directly into it, if they'd have busted out that part of that bridge, so I mean they mined it, yeah, but I'd have just fucking tore it down before I built the wall. Oh, a lot of the shorter, a lot of the ones that look a little shorter, a little smaller, the guards that run around on this wall and run around down there on Liberty Island. I guess that was female extras. That's why they look a little small. It's another little fact in there. Here he comes. Here. What haven't I talked about? I pretty much covered all of them. Pretty much covered all of the, except for these couple of things here, yeah. And then that, and talk about that one. There's only a couple left. A couple of facts left I haven't covered yet. Then number one. You're the Duke. You're the Duke. Just blowing him the fucking way. Duke. A number one. You know, he enjoyed that shit. Hey, Ed, what's going on, man? Vinny Jackson, fantastic, man, fantastic. Excellent, man. Excellent. You wouldn't believe the Ed, you wouldn't believe the Carpenter fans, man, that have never seen this, man. It's crazy. Duke ain't number one, yeah. Isaac Hayes, you got all a great cast, man. Kurt Russell, Adrian Barbeau, Lee Van Cleef, Ernest Borgnine, Isaac Hayes, Charles Cypher, you know what I mean? You got Tom Atkins in there. You got Season Hovley back there, you know what I mean? There he goes. I love the little doctor guy that does, you know, that give him the shot, you know, in the neck and stuff. Um, I love Carpenter naming him Cronenberg, just like he named old Frank Doubleday, you know, the guy. You know, naming him Romero because he looks like a zombie. I thought that was great. Yeah, man, that's what I thought. It's a must see for Carpenter. But you know, but Joseph likes Carpenter, and he hadn't seen it. There's a couple other people that I talked to so far in here today that likes Carpenter and never seen Escape from New York, man. Or someone else said they had never seen a Assault on Precinct 13 either. It's like, man, I might do a Assault on Precinct 13 next week. Did the Florida late last night. I'm doing Escape from New York here. It's almost over. Coming to the end. I'm gonna be doing Halloween. Halloween. I did Halloween 3 last week. We'll be doing Halloween and Halloween 2 here in October. So you know, might do some precinct 13 next week before I do a Which Way to Lose. And then after those two, and after October, I'll start doing my Tarantino's for my matinee. I'm gonna start beginning of Tarantino and go all the way through this film cut. Music rock. Oh yeah. Um, Especially any Carpenter, man, you're gonna have a great score. It's just yeah, man, yeah. I come back out full force, man. Hell yeah. I couldn't stay quit, man. I'm, you know, too much of an addict to it. I'm too damn good at these watch-alongs, Ed. But I really do think I do my best work when I'm alone. You know, when it's just me. I mean, you know, it's when I can actually do commentary. I can actually discuss on the film. I can actually tell facts. You know what I mean? I much prefer doing them by myself. I think it's when I do my best stuff. Because I can do everything that I want to do. You know? Cool. Yeah. Glad you can tell. Yeah. The hope that I'm a great nation. Learn to live in peace. And he plugs in the American Bandstand tape. Da 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 da. Dun, dun, dun. Bandstand, bandstand. He walks away looking up the other day. Fuck you, man. Because he only won 1 minute at his time, and then he said, anything you want, you just name it. And he's like, man, it killed a lot of people. You know what I mean? I was wondering how you feel about that. You know, and he's like, well, thank them. You know, this great nation thanks them for their sacrifice. You know, fuck you, dude. There it was. Yep, Russell Lee Van Cleef, 49, Donald Pleasance, Isaac Hayes, Harry Dean Stanton. Man, Bucky. Take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give me that thumbs up, man. If you would, I appreciate it. Take it easy. Hey, stop by tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'll be in here with Juno at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. I will be with Juno. We'll be doing Invasion of the Body Snatcher 78 with Donald Donald Sutherland and Leonard Nimoy and all that. And then Tuesday night I will be here with Dan with Flesh Wound Features doing a watch along Last House on the Left 1972. So definitely stop back in tomorrow night and Tuesday night. Have a nice Sunday, man. Yeah, you can definitely tell this is Carpenter, but this has got a great feel to it. Man. Okay, okay, now, like I was saying, tomorrow night, what's this out? Tomorrow night I'll be in here with Juno 2000, and we'll be doing like I was just saying, Invasion of Ice Snatchers 1978, the great remake with Donald Sutherland. Tuesday night I'll be here with Daniel, Flesh Moon Dan from Flesh Moon Features, and we will be doing Last House on the Left 1972. It should be freaking tastic, damn cool stuff. And then next weekend, um, unless I jump in somewhere in between, you can never tell. But as it stands right now, next Sunday for the Sunday Afternoon Matinee at 1 p.m. will be John Carpenter's Attack on Precinct 13, or Assault on Precinct 13, and then followed that on the 3rd with Friday 13th 09, Friday 13th remake, and I will be here with Eric from Hey Internet Eric here, Ninja from Ginger Ninja, and Russell Foyer. And then from there, I'm not sure. Got October. Phil was great. The horror, man. I know, but the last week or two, it's going to be me and JT just kissing the ass right off the Halloween 1978. I'm really looking forward to that. And in the future here, um, after doing Song Pursuit 13, Everything to Lose, and a couple others, after October, I am going to be starting um, I'm going to be starting my Sunday matinees are going to be every week, and I'm going to go in order, and I'm going to do Tarantino's entire film catalog. So everybody have a great freaking day. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you like football, check it out. If not, enjoy your grilling, enjoy your family. Um, God, man, just take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you had a great time. I will see you tomorrow night with Juno doing Invasion Body Snatcher 78. As I said, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Much love to all of you. I am Agoraphobe, and you are not. Have a great day.